Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be covering the neurological, psychological, and physiological impact of space travel and how these narratives help us understand an interdisciplinary research narrative into how human centered missions are going to be the future of space travel. My name is Muskan Dewan. I was a research associate under the Young Scientist program, and I discussed how to build planetary habitats with Dr. Jen Blank and my other co interns. So, I'm going to talk about the importance of space medicine. Just for a little bit of background, I am someone who's currently going into a neurology master's, and my interest in space has sort of connected me to this interdisciplinary pathway. And the recent Artemis 2 mission helped me and a lot of my colleagues find this calling. There were a lot of discoveries during this mission, and a lot of people got inspired by it. So, let me run you through a quick list of importances that connect us to space medicine. It is vital not only to help astronauts prepare for space travel, but also to help them come back. But after landing, there are a lot of changes that go into their body, their brain, and their mind, specifically their bones. And space medicine experts help them prepare for it and give them a proper prognosis and timeline. It can also help us look at Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease as a new model of cells are being researched. They research cells under microgravity and they allow us to look at different angles for it to find cures and to possibly discover the biomarkers for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease 13 years prior to what we currently diagnose people with, the timeline. It can also help us understand several factors that can be used to further humanity here in on earth in the field of healthcare. A lot of innovations were born out of studying human beings in extreme environments like space, and these can be applied right back onto earth when we come back from the project. Now I'm going to talk about the specific importance of brain researchers and mind researchers, so psychologists and neuroscientists. Neuroscientists and neurology experts can help us understand parts of the brain that psychologists might not be able to, or they have like area of expertise. Um, Neurologists can help us understand the short term and long term sorry the short term and long term impacts. For short term we have nausea, space related motion sickness, vestibular dysfunction, and for long term we have brain malignancies, premature aging like Parkinson's disease, like I talked about, and accelerated neurodegeneration. There is a factor, if you go into space for a long term mission, your brain can be impacted by it. As for psychology professionals, they can help us understand how circadian rhythm plays a role and how disruptions between sunlight can help the can sort of cause an impact on the person's well-being. Their levels of anxiety can also be accelerated because of it. They might be prone to depressive disorders, and the isolation they also occur during these long term missions can lead to a loss of cultural identity. So, if we build tools with psychologists to understand these things and also to de escalate conflict and these sort of things, we can help our crew, and not only our crew, but other people on Earth also have more effective missions. So, a brief summary of the project that I was a part of. We designed habitats on lunar and Martian soils, and I chose the lunar concept. And I'm going to quickly take you through like the habitats we did weekly. And subconsciously, I sort of went for a human centered approach in all of the habitats, and this is what I learned through them. Week one was a habitat concept, and I focused on an academic training center and what community and third spaces can do to a person's mental health and well-being. Week two was robot assistant and companion. Again, I focused on how we can still stay connected to a community despite having robot assistants so that we don't feel isolated from other humans. Three was lunar community. Here I focused more on building the third spaces again. I got clubs and activities, different things about astrophotography, poetry, so that people who are from a more science based background can also learn to relax through creative endeavors. Week four was personalized rooms, and I talked about how downtime and certain design aspects help people relax. I also touched on neurodivergence here. Then week five was food production facilities. Here I talked about low waste sustainability and how volunteering certain time slots from their schedule can help the community stay together, and again, not let the burden of food production fall on to one team or one person entirely. Week 6 was my favorite. It was the medical bay. Here I designed emergency services and how these things can help us advance research back on Earth. Week 7 was rovers. Here I designed rovers and EVA suits that can prevent traumatic brain injuries, focusing on the helmets. Now, here's what I learned about human centered design. It is being prioritized already through projects like Hera at NASA. It helps us build a safer protocol, safer gears, and tools towards safeguarding the human body, mind, and the brain. The distinction is very important, and through this interdisciplinary narrative, we also learn about this distinction. Inventions also help us become more better healthcare providers and hospitals, and of course, this is going to advance the human race. Here is a picture that I found on the NASA website about the Hera mission, and let's talk about the neurological impact. So, once a human goes into space, the expansion of the CSF or the cerebrospinal fluid happens and it can push onto the person's eyes. This can cause swelling, it can cause a lot of neural problems as well. There is also the impact of microgravity and radiation, which we need to look out on. That can also cause neuroinflammation. This can later cause Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. And also, during the landing and during the launches, we need to look out for traumatic brain injuries. Therefore, special helmets can be designed, or a portable MRI machine, which can help us understand through remote scans that whatever is going on with the astronaut's brain is treatable or not. Then there is the psychological impact, which is isolation, existential dread, which is not talked about a lot in the mainstream media. There are also panic attacks in case of emergencies. While astronauts are trained, we still need to look out for their well being. In case there is a panic attack, we need to ensure that they have the resources to tackle it. There is also insomnia or hypersomnia due to the lack of sunlight. And there is also a sudden onset of psychiatric disorders, either genetic or environmental. We need to understand that there can be cases like these, and how do we prepare for them is by having a team that is built of more than just STEM and expanding into social science. Here's how my journey has led me to this path. I am someone who got a BA in psychology. I also had a minor in design. I am an artist as well. So these explorations got me my love of space. My love of space also got me to understand space medicine as a field. And now I'm going to be studying neurology with a focus on space medicine. So, combining social sciences and STEM together can make us more aware about exploitation and human rights issues. So, establishing a lunar or a Martian colony, we need to understand that anti exploitation laws need to be there. Human rights need to be prioritized. Human artists and writers and creatives can also bring people together while the missions are going on. So, NASA did this by hashtag Moon Week on Artemis 2, which I also participated in with my sister and other artists that I know. They created a lot of animations, artworks, and songs even that excited people about the mission while the astronauts were still returning from the spin around the moon. There is also interdisciplinary narratives that are involved once we talk to people outside our broader sphere of STEM. So, lawmakers, international relations. This can help us understand if there is a multi country moon base or a Martian base. How can we prioritize that every single person and every single participant feels safe and international relations are not being violated? There should also be tools to prevent discrimination based on race, gender, sexuality, and country of origin, which can happen when we talk to some social sciences and humanities expert. They are not our enemies, and we are not parallel fields as we are being told by during in the popular media. These two fields diverge very often, which is how I got to the path that I'm currently on. So this is whatever we've learned today. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead.